sync in 3, 2, 1. That one better?
No.
Alright, let's see if I can do this properly. Alright, hey, how's it going, everybody? This is my third take for just don't even ask. But yeah, hopefully I do it properly this time because Tim doesn't have time for me to do it a fourth time.
Yeah, don't ask, because if you ask again, that'll be a fourth take and a fifth take.
Anyways, welcome to the show, Mr. Tim Roux. What's new and exciting? Glad to have ya.
Well, new and exciting. Let's see. We live in Canada. We live in Ontario. And cannabis is legal now. Do you believe that?
I can believe it. It makes me very happy. It helps me sleep at night for multiple reasons. But yeah, I'm loving it. I think it's a long time coming. I really thought that the States was going to do it before we did. But there we go. Number one, or well, technically number 2.
Yeah, the only one that matters. We're here. We finally got it. I'm gonna ask you when it happened and you're watching, all the rallies and the woo woo. What were your thoughts on some of the interviews that they got with some of these? Like, are you?
Well, here's the thing, right? I think they purposely went out and tried to find specific people to do interviews with. Yeah. And they let's just say it wasn't the average pothead that they were showing, right?
I didn't know if I wanted to laugh or cry. It's like, are you kidding me? These are the ambassadors that they're choosing to tell our feelings on something that, was fun. But anyways, now that that's all done, it's just exciting times we're living in.
Well, I mean, I see a lot of positive because of it. I see hopefully a lot of money made by it for everybody. That was my big worry was there's a lot of money in it. Who's going to get the money, right? Who's the person that's going to see the cash? Is it going to be all to the government's pocket and they'll just kind of do whatever the hell they want? Were they going to make a monopoly? Like, I wasn't sure at first how it was going to go, and they were very vague when we first got the announcement that they were going to legalize it. And they changed the date, too. It was supposed to be earlier, and then it was like they added 6 months or something to it.
That's what happens when you throw politics into anything. My disclaimer, I don't understand it. Politics makes me want to throw up. I just try to make a educated guess at the best of the worst. If that makes any sense.
No.
And live with the consequences until I get a chance to do it again. But no, I just kind of defend myself. You ask what's new and exciting, and I just jump on this cannabis thing for a reason. I believe I have a different perspective than a lot. My mother's side of the family has alcoholics, and the family is dwindling because of that. So the other side of the family always smoke their weed, their cannabis, happy, alive, well. So I enjoy the fact now that we can try to get rid of that stigma, and actually the research that now is going to happen with all the health benefits now that it is legal.
Yeah.
Is the leaps and bounds they're going to make now in the next 5 years are going to surpass everything they've done in the last 20 in prohibition, I believe, because now it's out in the open.
No.
And it's going to be fantastic. To Big Pharma might not like it because they're going to put a hole in their pocket, but at the end of the day, this is something that it's naturally grown. We need to use it. Nobody understands it because it has been illegal, and it's ridiculous. So that's why I'm excited. And I just kicked your camera.
Oh no!
Are we gonna have to do a fourth take?
No, we won't. But I'll get you to move it. The illusion's gonna be gone, I bet. But hang on, let me. Actually, I should be able to.
Just move your flipping chair.
Hang on. I should be able to. Come on. There. Okay, just move it towards me a bit.
Disrupting everything.
Yeah, right there. The illusion is gone, folks. It's not actually a wall behind me. Oh well. I think everybody knew that anyways, so it's not a big deal. But now that I fucking chased that bone and have no idea what the hell we're just talking about.
No, we were talking about Canada. I was just explaining why, and that's the first thing that I brought up because I've been just doing a lot of research myself now on how to well, yeah, and on how to use the different strains to help with my own pain and anxiety. I mean, I was put on an anxiety medication from the doctor. Says don't stop taking this. It kind of makes me a little bit nervous, but regardless, I stopped taking it, and I'm doing what I need to do to find out which hits the anxiety. So
Right.
I've gone from an avid recreationalist, if you will, to it can now be a hobby, and it's a learning process.
Well, what I like is the fact that now, because there are options out there and there are different choices, like I hear you on not wanting to take the medication. I chose not to take pain medication for my shoulder and opted for marijuana, and it's helped me a lot because I don't want a chemical. The research I've done on any of that stuff is you get addicted in like no time. Like no time at all, your body is just dependent on it, and that freaks the shit out of me.
Well, and then you hear people say that marijuana there's no physical addiction. I would agree with that, but it's definitely enjoyable. It's an enjoyable way to medicate in certain instances too. I mean, it's not like you can, hey, I'm going out for a weekend. Let's take a little bit of extra of my prescription. I was saying about it the other day. It's like,
a little extra amoxicillin this
hey,
weekend.
Doc, can I get a little bit extra? I got two parties next month. And if I could just take a little bit extra, it'd just make my time so much better. But
That's great. Yeah, no, I mean, I think as a pain reliever, it's great. There's 1,000 other things it can be used for. You're looking at you were talking about this the other day. The fact that you can grow hemp and use hemp instead of paper, and it takes a lot less time to grow a field of hemp than it does to grow hectares of trees. Right?
Yeah, I read that. I was in I think it was High Times. I was reading something that interests me. I like to read about it, and that really stuck out because how many acres and hectares of forest have been clear cut to make paper because hemp is an illegal substance that could grow a crop a year.
Well, that's
it is the strongest fiber on the planet.
It's like depending on different strains and stuff, and what we can do with science now. I would imagine you could probably make a hemp that you can grow easily 3 months, maybe even 2.5 months to full grown and ready to harvest and do what you want.
Yeah, but now you're splitting hairs because a forest takes 20 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
so
right?
If it takes one whole season for a harvest, that's a step in the right direction. But I see what you're saying too. We can collapse time frames and have it done even quicker.
Well, exactly.
But,
right?
No,
I mean,
and all because it was illegal. And I heard read referred to many times in that article and a couple others that still the stigma and everything is partly thanks to that reefer madness.
Man.
Do you believe how stupid and ridiculous that was? But
okay, hold on. If you have not seen Reefer Madness, Google it, find it. Oh my God, it's insane. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but people need to see that because that is ridiculous.
Yeah. And that was a propaganda put out by the government to scare people away, and we laugh at it today. But based on the fact that we've clear cut hundreds of hectares of freaking forest because we didn't want to use hemp because it was illegal, the effects of that movie are, I think, a little bit far reaching than
when that movie came out, I find people were more gullible back in the day, and they're not gullible. They just weren't as suspicious. People are more suspicious nowadays, I find, about things, about hearing things. Some people aren't though, so maybe not. Maybe it's just. But I think that was like you couldn't Google search marijuana. You know that the information you got was that, and that came from the government.
Yeah,
so...
they couldn't pull the wool over our eyes quite as much nowadays with the internet, or maybe it'd be easier to do it in different instances as well, right? So we're not doing another take.
No,
but
it's all good. Hey, whatever.
So yeah, maybe in certain instances it would be easier to do speed misdirection as opposed to just a propaganda where they can't get the information. But the fact that
silly
movie worked as well as it did.
Like I said, people believed it. They just thought that's what it was, and that's how it affected you. But I mean, it didn't stop anything. People kept smoking pot. I mean, here's the thing, right? You got to think this way. Like, doesn't matter what. That's a good one. Doesn't matter, what you see. If someone you watch that movie and you believe what it said, and then you met someone who was mindful and intelligent and well thought, and he was smoking weed all the time, you're gonna question it because I mean, potheads definitely get that stigma of lazy and what have you, but I'm rarely lazy when I'm smoking.
Now, on a side note, I'll say that was when I was an avid recreationalist. Because back then, you called up your guy, hey, I need a bag, and you would get what your guy had.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever it was.
And you'd get a bag of green, and you would smoke it. You didn't know what it was, necessarily. Some would like to think themselves a fluent dealer. Go, this is Hawaiian punch. It didn't mean anything to me. It's just, okay, great. Can I put it in a paper and can I smoke it? But now, and I didn't even know that there was like an AM PM, kind of like Tylenol.
Right?
I didn't know that until just recently. So now, knowing that, it's when you don't just go to your guy and see what he's got. I mean, you scrolling through an app on your phone going, what's this? Oh, this is used to treat that. Right. I'll try that.
Exactly.
So it's changed. It's not like, hey, I need. It's like, now I want some of this for that, and then this help me sleep, and
this is for
weekend,
fun.
right?
This is fun.
So it's great. I mean, you can text a stranger and he drops something off at your house. I was almost in tears. I didn't know I was laughing or giggling. It was great, right? And it's awesome. It's
awesome. That's all you can say,
right?
Exactly.
But again, just to get rid of the stigma. That's why I have no problem talking about it. So I probably talk about it so much at work, just bringing it up because I can now, and it's just alleviating, getting rid of that stigma. You talked about it. It's here. It's gonna stay.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to you about all your I was so hammered stories.
Right? I was so stoned. Dude, you should have seen the shit I did to that pizza.
Dude,
it's
where's
wrong.
my car?
It's wrong. That pizza didn't deserve what I did to it, but you know what? I did it anyways, right?
So yeah, it's good. It's now anybody taking their you're out and about and you need to stop at the liquor store, you got your kids with you, you take them in, you get what you need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Not at the cannabis stores.
Well, that's part of that stigma you were just talking
I know.
about, right?
And I mean, now, this is my niece. She's 8.
Yeah.
So, she can sit in the car for 10 minutes. I'm not concerned about that. She actually wanted to sit in the van, but I wanted to have this just to prove I was right? Because I took her into the liquor store with me.
Right.
And they wouldn't let her go in to the pot shop where everything's behind doors.
Yeah.
You're handed a paper menu.
Yeah.
There's not even posters promoting it on the wall.
Right.
You might see a lighter in the display case or the rolling paper, but right, really? I can't bring her in there. I'm out doing my errands as a father or an uncle, and I have my kids with me because I live in Fergus, and the closest dispensary where I can actually go, where everybody wants me to go get this from the government, is an hour away.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I got to go take my niece home, who's 8, and can sit in the car for 10 minutes, and then drive another hour just to go pick up what I would like to pick up for myself.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping over time there's going to be more stores. We're going to see more dispensaries where we can walk in and stuff.
They have one in Toronto. I actually seen a commercial for it. This is a former HMV on Yonge Street.
Oh, nice.
And they have it all set up like you can look at it. It looks like you can smell it.
What?
It's like, wow. That's what it should be. Because right now you're looking at a menu. And half the time, because I've been there a few times, half the time they can't even get or keep in stock what you want.
Oh, I would imagine the demand is like off the chart for sure. I mean, look at just the online store right after they opened, as it were. It was like there was nothing. Bam, it was gone. Right. What confused me was they said they delayed to have extra time because they knew there was going to be a demand issue, a supply issue, right? And then they still had the same problem. Like it still happened. And I think it's going to continually happen probably for another year or so.
Well, I believe it. So, I mean, the people that want to will take advantage of the fact that they can now grow themselves. So that, I mean, you can go brew your own beer and stuff like that too.
Yep.
So that'll subsidize, as a user, the cost that's involved there, and it'll be like a liquor store. Oh, I'm going out this weekend. I'm going to a party. Let's go pick up a little something special, right? A little bit something different.
Yeah.
But I mean, by and by, are you going to use those dispensaries all the time? I mean, wow. They need. They're talking about, well, you need to be competitive with the black market.
They're
$45 for 3.5
They're not
grams?
competitive at all.
And I mean, the
Not
packaging for a gram was a container that big,
I know. It was for I know.
right?
I ordered it. I wasn't happy with it at all. And yeah, it's over expensive for what you get. Gram for gram, you can get it way cheaper other places. But I mean, growing, that's where it's at. I mean, for me this year, I'll do my 4 plants. I'm just gonna try to get them as big as I can, like, and that's it, right? So I love that. It's so funny.
That's the
The
dinner
white-
going in soon, so
Oh, it's the call. The call. Uh
yeah, you text me when you're leaving, but if I want you to leave sooner, I'll text you.
oh. Right? Yeah, I
No,
got
but,
you. I
she
understand.
just put it in.
No, that's cool. I wanted to ask you about because you've talked with me about it a little bit before, but kind of like how you were growing up. I mean, you touched base on it at the very beginning. I think of this one because again, this is our third time.
You might have missed that in another take.
Right. But no, so if you don't mind, why don't you tell everybody a bit about your upgrowing, because it's not the typical upgrowing, especially when it comes to cannabis.
No, no, and I kind of appreciate the background that I had too. My parents both always smoked, never hid it from us. Smoked it around us. They would have people come over to the house. They would, and being children, we would go with them sometimes, and that wasn't the case. We would be put in with their kids, and the parents would disappear. We know what they're doing. Their kids don't.
Right.
Even, right? So I've seen how my parents dealt with it. Just this is what it is, and how other parents trying to hide it.
Right.
And I mean, you're in the summer vacation and you're playing in the neighborhood, and hey, let's go into your place and watch a movie. It's like parents are all at work. It's like, hold on, I go in and make sure everything's cleaned up. So you're going to make sure there's not a roach clip or something. It's kicking around, right?
Right.
And I mean, as a kid, you ever walk into a house and, what's that smell? What are they cooking? I probably had one of those houses, but it wasn't necessarily anything we were cooking.
Right.
But I mean, that being said, I mean, it was just always there. It wasn't an illegal substance. And I mean, we'll talk about this some other time, but I even remember the house being raided just simply because they were watching somebody that happened to stop by the house. So
Really?
yeah.
Eh?
But I vaguely remember that, and we were talking about it with my mom the other day. And it's like, yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah. It's
The fact that they're willing to put somebody in jail over a plant that like has never hurt anybody that I know of, that nobody's ever died from consuming that I know of. And you're gonna waste taxpayers' money to put this person away for a plant. That's always confusing.
and another. See, I read all these magazines. I got little bit tidbits of flipping information everywhere. Another one I read was back in the 50s. They were actually. I can't even remember if alcohol was still in prohibition, but they would tell people like marijuana. because it would actually cut down on domestic violence and everything.
Right. Chill
It's
everybody out, man.
Really? Huh. So,
I'm just glad it's legal. I think, again, there could be a lot of money, and if we do the right things with that money, this country could become something really special.
see, that's all good. You're concerned about money. I'm concerned about money in my pocket, so I'm glad that it's legal. So hopefully, as a consumer, the prices can come down for just a recreational user. And as I said, the medical studies and the advances that they'll make now that it's out in the open, it's going to be like second to none. You'll have people that before wouldn't even consider it an option because it was illegal. Are now it's like, wow.
Oh, for sure.
Where was this all my life? Oh, that was you refused to touch it because they said it was no good for you. Remember that Reefer Madness movie?
Right?
Right? So
no, man, we're gonna get by that stigma, I think, very quickly now, and I hope other people or other countries follow suit because it's ridiculous. I also think I don't think it's the only one that should be legalized. I think mushrooms should also be legalized.
well, now you're walking a slippery slope. Hey, I ate mushrooms, whew, but I mean opium. Actually, I was reading an article in that, and they were saying no because you grow pot, all you need to do is dry it. Mushrooms, same thing.
Yeah.
To get opium and coke and that type of thing, it's a
There's
process.
a process.
You need to extract it,
Yeah.
and those type of things, no, because it's not natural. Man is doing whatever to bring that out.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So mushrooms, I don't know. Is there medical benefit to the mushrooms,
Well,
or are they just fun?
But no, they are very
Either
cool.
way.
No, but there is. See, they've actually been doing testing actually in BC on mushrooms because here's the thing: it's legal to grow them. You can grow psilocybin mushrooms right now. I could grow them. The only thing is you're not allowed to dry them. Okay, and I believe the reason for that is because you have to eat something like 10 times the amount of undried mushrooms to get the same effect, as a little bit, right? So you have to eat so many, like you'd probably just be sick of eating mushrooms before you get enough of a buzz. At least that's my understanding. But it's been helping with soldiers and PTSD, depression, and this stuff. I'm not saying. Maybe I just think that mushrooms, there's more to them than just the fact that they're a drug. I mean, it might sound a little woo-woo, but I do definitely think that mushrooms can be used as a mental path to get you somewhere else, to bring you somewhere else. Now, they talk about, there's a lot of people that do it, they talk about taking large doses, 5 grams or more, and, just almost astral projecting yourself in other places. The same thing with DMT. I think there's a lot to it that needs to be explored. I haven't done DMT yet. I really want to. From what I hear about it is, now she's actually calling. Now you're in big trouble. No. But what I hear about the DMT is very, very short trips, 15 to 20 minutes, and you go into a different world. And I've heard stories about people talking to beings and to the point where it's almost like a going into another dimension. And I've always thought there's more to the world. I'm not a big God believing type guy. I'm not saying there isn't one, but I'm not going to say that there is either. I need a little more proof than what there is out there for it. But I do think there's a lot more to this world than what we perceive. And these two types of drugs, these hallucinogens, might be a path to seeing that or reaching out to that other world. And that just sounds fucking crazy. But
I don't know about the other world, but I mean, I just want to, learn about cannabis and how to medicate myself. We'll leave the, intergalactic planetary travel to Mushroom Boy over there.
No, hey, and
I've done mushrooms, but I don't know if they have the same beneficial health properties as pot. But I don't know either.
Well,
Has anybody looked into it?
Well,
I'd
there
be open
has
to it,
been
but-
like I said, they're doing more and more now, and I was surprised to find out that was actually being done in Canada. But there seems to be, not only does it stimulate your brain in different ways, there's been stuff I've read that says that it helps make new pathways. So like, let's say the pathway's dead in your brain, and so your brain tries to use it, it can't. Well, on psilocybin will activate the brain and allow it to find another path to do the exact same thing. So they've been trying, I believe, don't quote me because it's been a while since I've read it, but trying on people that can't move their arms and stuff properly, and when they're tripping, they can move. They have function because the drug is allowing the brain to make another path to the connection that it needs to make the body do what the body does.
It's interesting because that's apparently how mushrooms work. Apparently CBD works by
It's
just ignoring, by interrupting the signal so the pain message doesn't get to your brain.
This is
So the mushrooms is finding a circumventory.
Yeah, exactly.
If that is circumventory, that's the word of the day. Route, and CBD is just interrupting the signal, so you really aren't realizing that you're in pain.
Right.
And someone says, well, then you're just doing more damage.
But it doesn't.
But that's like any other pain relief. You're still in pain, you're just masking the pain.
With some things, with the CBD and stuff, there is repairing stuff. We're starting to see different attacking cancer, stuff like that.
But the other drug, I'm talking, you're just numb.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's right. With the whatever you're gonna get prescribed from Big Pharma or whatever. Yeah, it numbs you out, there's got to be better ways. I think that definitely cannabis is one. I think there is a path with psilocybin for different things. Even I think maybe LSD for some different mental issues.
I had some LSD the other day. No, we went to Tim Hortons on the weekend, and my daughter didn't eat all her donuts, so I had some last Saturday's donuts in the back seat.
Love those. Love last Saturday's donuts.
That's how Tim Hortons died.
My camera's off. Did you hit it again?
Yeah, I did a little bit. That's how I heard. I heard that's how Tim Hortons died. LSD.
Could
right?
I would.
And then I heard it was last Saturday's donuts.
Last Saturday's donuts.
Yeah, that's where that one came from. But,
bad. No. Have you ever heard of the stoned ape theory?
No, but if we're getting into further theories, we may have to continue this.
No. I'm only bringing it up because we were just talking about mushrooms and different effects. But you can hop on YouTube and just do stoned ape. There's like a few videos where they're actually reading from the book and stuff. But it's one of the theories of how we developed our cognitive brain all of a sudden, and it's very interesting, and it makes you think, and you have a thinky mind, as I like to say. So
that's something I get accused of all the time.
Thinky mind.
Thinking in general. I'm just kidding. But
check it out because I think it'll lead you down a rabbit hole of researching stuff, or at least it did to me because I'm bad like that. I'm like, ooh, really? Ooh, really? Ooh, really? But I know it's getting late, and at least for you, and you already said you're more than willing to do this almost on a regular. So because you're such a famous guy and you're gonna bring me all kinds of views.
He's gonna piggyback on me.
Yeah, exactly. I plan on.
He thought it was the other way around, but no.
No. I'm gonna.
I'll take him with me.
I'm gonna ride your coattails all the way there. I have no problem with that. No problem with that at all. But we'll let you go. We'll come back in maybe a week or so, and we'll talk about some different stuff in between that time, or maybe earlier, whenever's available for you. Because I would do this shit every day. I don't know. After that, you'd probably have your own YouTube channel, so maybe we shouldn't do that. But I don't.
Oh, yeah, see, I already see. I don't want to do that. I don't want the work that a YouTube channel entails. So you can just do all that. We don't want to do it too often, so we'll just keep it on the DL. And
all right, sounds good. Well, listen, brother, thanks a lot for coming on. I'll do a little wrap up, and then we'll shut it down and talk for a minute, maybe. All right. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. It was, I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you guys have any comments, if we said stuff wrong, definitely correct us in the comments down below. But yeah. yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing Tim again because, yeah, he's a great guy to talk with. At least I think he is. So, on that note, we'll catch you on the flip flop. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later. Oh, yeah.